We are live. Yay! We're live. We're live. Hello. Welcome to He Said, She Sang, the special edition birthday show. And there's so many special things about today, but the funniest is Alex Stein is about to present me.
I'm not here as Alex Stein. I'm here playing a character of the delivery guy. I have your birthday cake here.
It's not a fudgy, but it is a Carvel cake. So I'm going to pretend, so I'll have to be the whale for but I think that's doable. Thank you. Thank you. You know, you don't have to wear a mask when you come downstairs.
Even if I'm playing another character?
Even if you're playing another character. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Stein. I'm going to switch to, excuse me. Oh, Dave, why don't you switch us over to the dual view? Okay, Amy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our upstairs. It's the newfangled edition, coming to you through the power of...
Look, it's me, totally different from that guy with the mask downstairs.
It is. I'm going to have to close the door, though, because I'm hearing several yous, but that's okay. So welcome. Hope this is... I hope you're all doing well. And on this very, very hot day, at least in Los Angeles, it's extremely hot. And so we're going to do a lot of tales.
Stories about the cold.
Right. We're going to do a bunch of things, tales about the cold. And there could be cat cameos. There could be all sorts of things. But we're going to have Alex Stein kick things off with a story about someone very dear to us. So first he'll say, and then she'll sing.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being live with us on the YouTubes. This goes out to Cynthia. It's called Sit, Shadow, Sit. It's hard to point to one single decision that changes the course of your life, but taking an improv comedy class at UCLA Extension taught by Cynthia Seghetti completely changed mine. That class was a revelation and gave me a new way of looking at storytelling, comedy, status, structure, and performance. After her UCLA classes ended, I started taking classes with her at the Coronet Theater, now Largo. Her classes were magical and usually lasted longer than Springsteen concerts. Cynthia had a big old mutt that she named Shadow, who would come and sit by her feet while she was teaching, and she would constantly chain smoke during class because it was the 1990s. To this day, anyone who was in those classes with her does a version of this impression. Sit, Shadow, sit! Cynthia was one of the first members of the Groundlings, and she started and ran the Groundlings School and later the Acme Comedy School. She had an enormous impact on thousands of her students, including Lisa Kudrow, Conan O'Brien, Joel McHale, James Judd, and me. Cynthia was a brilliant weirdo in the best possible sense of that phrase, and she collected a galaxy of brilliant weirdos in orbit around her. She instinctively recognized each person's strength and helped us nurture those strengths. Week after week, Cynthia would share insight and wisdom and weird stories about old Hollywood, the bizarre retail store that she ran that had no fixed hours of business because it was the 1980s, the small amusement park that her family owned near where the Beverly Center now stands, or that one time when her brother was a rock star. Cynthia was a force of nature. When she was angry, it was frightening to be in the same room with her. I remember being in a class that she was teaching and watching her glower and seethe as we put up potential scenes that we were thinking of doing for a show that was scheduled a week later. She completely hated everything that we'd done. And afterwards, she got up from the house, walked onto the stage, prowled back and forth like a lioness, staring us down one by one before delivering her angry verdict in the form of 6 words I will never forget as long as I live. Shit, 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 fuck, shit. I told her years later how terrifying that moment was. 2 people in the class started crying, and she laughed and said, it sounded like her, but she didn't actually remember it. I visited her in the hospital the year before she died. She was very frustrated with mutual friends who weren't doing what she thought they should do with their lives. It's upsetting when people don't do what I know is best, she told me. During that visit, the subject turned to her funeral and the list of people she wanted ejected by force if they had the nerve to show up. Cynthia held grudges in a legendary, larger-than-life way. To her dying day, she cursed Paul Rubens for some slight inflicted on her 30 years earlier. She asked me that day, as she had many times before, if I would act as the de facto bouncer at her funeral. And I told her that if people wanted to pay their respects to her, even people who had wronged her in the past, it wasn't my place to tell them that they couldn't. She said, in that case, maybe she wasn't even going to have a funeral. And she admitted she couldn't stand the idea of not being in charge of her own funeral and said, why should I have to give up that kind of control just because I'm dead? Cynthia, if you haven't figured this out, could be difficult. And that was true far before she was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary disease and told that she had 6 months to live. It was true before the doctors announced that she had leukemia and again was told she only had a few months to live. And it was true before she was kicked out of hospice for living too long, and long before she went back into a different hospice and then was kicked out of that one too for continuing to live. She eventually started calling herself the beast who refuses to die and bragged that doctors could not explain why she was still alive. For revenge, she would sometimes say when she had enough energy to be sardonic. At one point, near the end, she told me she wanted to be cremated and have her ashes thrown in the faces of all those who had wronged her over the years. Cynthia would have lunch with a group of friends every Thursday at Cantor's, even after she got sick. I was a semi-regular, making it to the lunches about once a month. One of the last times I was with her at Cantor, she told me she was glad I didn't come more often. Frankly, she said, I worry about these people who have nothing better to do than have lunch with me every week. I told her we were all there because we loved her. And she didn't want to hear that because real emotion often embarrassed her. Before I left, she took me aside and said, don't stop talking to me just because I'm mean. Too many people have done that, and I can't do anything to make things better. I knew she was talking about 2 mutual friends she'd been very close to who recently had huge arguments with her, and she never spoke to either of them again. I told her that it was never too late. She could always apologize, and she laughed and said, have you met me? Cynthia loved to hold court at Cantor's or Norm's or IHOP or Ben Frank's, rest in peace. She had an answer for everything. And I can only recall one time in the 25 years I knew her when she was speechless, which is when I called her up and told her that I dedicated my book, No, Mr. Bond, I Expect Your Dreams to Die, to her. Cynthia didn't believe in life after death, but she promised to send her friends a message from beyond the grave if she could. Shortly after she died, I found myself driving down Fairfax. I don't exactly have the right words to describe this experience, so bear with me, please. I suddenly saw all of the places I had ever heard Cynthia describe around Fairfax, at the Comedy Store, places in San Francisco. I saw them all coupled with every second of her life, all together at once, compressed into one slice of space and time that encompassed everything. And it was peaceful and happy and strong, a glimpse into eternity, her eternity. Phyllis Katz, one of the original Groundlings and one of the funniest people and best improvisers I've ever met, told me a story that perfectly captures Cynthia. Many years ago, Cynthia was teaching an introductory improv class, and one of her students was a beautiful, bubbly girl who clearly had gotten by on her looks for her entire life. This girl did a scene, and afterwards, Cynthia was giving notes and mentioned that something in the scene was just like Adam and Eve. And the girl would have gotten a big laugh by mentioning them. And the girl said, Adam and Eve? I don't know who they are. And Cynthia stared at her for a moment, dumbfounded, and then said, get out. And the girl was confused and said, you want me to leave the room? And Cynthia said, no, get out of show business. There's too many stupid people already. There's no room for you. Cynthia once asked me to be her backup in case the friend who had agreed to kill her when the pain got too severe chickened out. It's just a quick shot, she said. And I shook my head and said, I don't do needles. Can we do pills instead? She said, nope, pills take too long. It has to be the needle. And then I said, well, I'm out. And I guess the way I said it struck her as funny because she started laughing. And Cynthia had an amazing laugh, partly because her laughs had to be earned, and partly because she'd laugh with her entire body and her soul. And then she started coughing and she told me I was an asshole for making her laugh. And I said, everyone who's ever known you wants to make you laugh. I've got a list, she said. And I tried to cut her off because by then the morphine she was taking was making her a little bit forgetful, and she'd often repeat herself. And I didn't want her to rehash the whole argument about me not wanting to throw people out of her funeral. No, she said, I have a list of people who make me laugh. And you're on it. And that might be the nicest thing she ever said to me, because I know the list of people who made her laugh. And that included Robin Williams and Martin Short, Taylor Negron, Phil Hartman, and Tracy Newman. And that's a pretty amazing list to be on. Before I walked into that UCLA class, I was terrified of other people, terrified of being on stage, and terrified of revealing any of my true thoughts or feelings or secrets. But Cynthia saw something in me that I wouldn't recognize in myself until, am I still on? Hello, sorry, my phone did something weird. But Cynthia saw something in me that I wouldn't recognize in myself until many years later, as she did with literally hundreds of her students. 3 years later, it's still true. She died 3 years ago this week, and not a single day goes by when I don't use the things I learned from Cynthia. So I miss you, I love you, and I thank you for all of this. And one more thing. Sit, Shadow, sit!
That is right on. Alex and I were both in Cynthia's class. In fact, Alex took me to Cynthia's class. The reason my thing is all screwed up right now, my camera is all screwed up, is I moved it because I had a cat thing. You know.
A cat thing.
The cat knocked down my MacGyvered background. And I had to climb up.
It's what they do.
And re-MacGyver it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Engelhardt.
Hi, y'all. Can y'all hear me okay? I recommend that if it's low that you guys turn it up. It's a new setup for me, so I've been told that if I turn myself up further that y'all are going to be blasted, and I'm going to... Anyhow. There we go. Okay, this is the part over here where the magic is gone, but I'll have to live with that, and so will you.
You might want to put yourself on single.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
This is my first time producing. Producing. I would say more like reducing our show. Usually Alex does it, but I wanted to try it this time. Amazing story. Yes, Allie, it was an amazing story. I wanted to try it myself this time. For my birthday, that's my present to myself. All right. I'm beginning with a sing-along because, what else would you do when you can't actually be in the room with people? And so I do need you to sing along because if you don't, then I'll look super stupid doing this in my... Well, actually, who'll see me looking super stupid except you, which I've already signed that contract a long time ago. But I would love it if you would sing. People have actually sent me videos of themselves singing along during my shows. So that is what I aim for, is for you to send me a video of you singing along. All right. So this is a story about... This is a story about an ideal world. and I'm going to teach you your part now. It's really easy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's it. Rehearsal. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How's the balance? Good? All right, you ready? Okay, this is the for real. You just saw like the rehearsal. This is the for real. There's a cat meowing going, let me out of this room. I just had to stop because, Alex, I think you're going to have to come and let the boo out of this room. If we get too slick or professional, please stop us because, what would be the point? All right, here we go. I'm going to start so that you don't hear a cat meowing and screaming, which I know I heard you upstairs. 5 a.m., all quiet on the Western Front. I live on the Western Front, so it's quiet here. Southern Cal, asleep like a normal gal, but soon there's gonna be a riot here. 5:15, hoot, hooty, hoot, hooty, hoot, hoots. Oh my God, it's like it's got a megaphone. 5:25, hoot, hooty, hoot, hooty, hoot, hoots. How is that bird still alive? And if I ruled the world, only rainbow flags would be unfurled. If I were the king, I'd command love and joy and happy things. And if I had my way, the evil hooty hoot would die today. Don't get me wrong, I like the nature. And I'm a singer, you'd think I'd understand. But this is an evil song, and 5:15 is wrong. It's not the time for concerts from a one-bird band. So if I were the queen, all the sidewalks would be sparkling clean. And if I had my say, we'd solve homelessness in one long day. And when I gave the word, there'd be no more stupid hooting bird. My neighbors would hail me as a hero. My husband would thank me with a kiss. And the ASPCA would have a hooty fucking field day. Mourning the mourning dove that nobody would miss. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I can't hear you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. East Coast. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, welcome. Taps the horns will toot the tragic end of evil hooty hoot. And if my wildest dreams come true, we'll all eat hooty vindaloo. Hoot. Ooh. Hoot, hoot. I hope you enjoyed that, and now you're all qualified to work at Hooters. Oh, I can't believe she just said that. Seriously, that is based on a true story. This evil bird has tortured us for 25 years, and you know, if I ruled the world, that's what I do. And it's my birthday. Well, Monday's my birthday, so you know, it's about what I want. She said. When my jeans don't fit, when I feel like shit, will you love me? When my face turns gray, when I pull away, will you love me? You'd be free to go if you wanted to, but I'd like to know if I lean on you when I need you most. Will you make me toast? Will you love me? Will you love me? When my hope is dry and my face is wet, but the jokes and songs aren't over yet. When I need you here and the stakes are clear, will you love me? Will you love me? Thank you. The crowd goes crazy. And now, back to Alex Stein, who I think may be reading something from his book. Hang on.
Hello.
Hello.
Not yet.
Are you going to read something from your book?
Saving that.
Yahoo!
No, this is a brand new piece, but it is about cold and dogs and things like that. So
all the things we like.
All the things we like. And I literally wrote this afternoon because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside and I just want it to be colder.
We always want it to be colder.
So this is called 1 Mile Out. Dog team, 1 mile out. The loud voice echoes through the small building. I glance at my watch. I have somehow lost the last 2 hours. I shake the sleep out of my eyes, reach for my jacket and hat and gloves. It's nice and toasty inside, and I was dreaming of gophers popping up from tunnels in the ground. Outside it's snowing lightly, but it's cold, way, way below zero. So cold it takes extra time to get ready to go outside and to think about what you need to wear to be outside for more than a minute. The crowd starts coming slowly out from the checkpoint, from the warm building, in ones and twos, chatting, vet techs hanging together, race officials nodding to each other. We are hundreds of miles from the start in one of the few places that has commercial flights in and out. The 8 rooms in the one hotel are totally booked, but the crowds here are in the dozens, not the thousands that there were back at the start. The reporters all seem to know everyone, and they don't mind asking everyone for little tidbits of information. One even asks me the name of a lead dog dropped at an earlier checkpoint, and I have no idea what the dog's name is, but I'm thrilled to be asked, thrilled to be mistaken for someone who knows. The soft snow makes a crunchy noise beneath my boots. I struggle to get the perfect vantage point. The officials make their way out, laughing with the mayor of this small village. We see the headlight long before we hear anything. There are brief discussions about whose team this could be. The team in second had been gaining, closing the gap. There's a prize for getting to this particular checkpoint first. Some cash, and a specially commissioned piece of native art, which is beautiful. The first musher in pauses for a few minutes. He's done this dozens of times, won the race 4 times. He knows the drill, but I can tell he loves all of this. He's given the cash and the art. Pictures are taken. He gives the cash and the art back. He'll get it again 600 miles further at the banquet in the gym in Nome after all of the teams have arrived. He jokes with one of the reporters, waits for the vets to examine his dogs, and pulls through. He's not going to win this year, but none of us know that, not yet. Everything is still possible for every musher and every dog. As he moves out onto the river, this musher's dogs run true and fast, and I can hear him talking softly to them for a while, longer than should be possible. Sound does strange things on frozen lakes. It is 42 degrees below zero, and I have been outside for 10 minutes. The reporters are already back in. The vets and vet techs follow close behind, and then the race officials. I hang out with a small crowd of locals. They ask me what I'm doing there, and I don't know how to describe exactly what it is that I'm doing. I don't even know that I understand it, so I don't try to explain. I'm chasing something, I tell them, and they shrug. That's good enough for them. I'm the idiot who's come hundreds of miles into the middle of nowhere. And I am chasing something that I'm pretty sure is there, something I know I would see if I got to the right place, if I took myself to the place I needed to be. And even if this isn't the exact right place, planes fly in and out of here, commercial planes, and I can get what I need, I think. I wander out onto the frozen river, listen hard to the animals off in the distance. I feel out of place here, like I'm intruding, like I'm interrupting something very important, even if the people here might have forgotten how important it really is. I'm not quite of this place, but I'm not quite separate from it. The snow is soft and peaceful. After a few minutes, I wander back inside. I buy a cup of tea and drink it, letting the warmth of the liquid fill me up. I peel off my coat and hat and gloves, sit them next to me on a long bench. I will spend most of the night on this bench, going in and out as dog teams move through. I close my eyes, trying to reconnect with the gophers again in my sleep, popping up in the backyard from the tunnels. Dog team 1 mile out. Most of the same crowd heads out, but there's no prize for the second team to come into this checkpoint. No cash, no native art. The second place team isn't as exciting for most people. Still, a lot of us stand around. Not as many people, but the same groups. Some of them telling the same jokes that they told 20 minutes earlier. I move towards an old garbage can that has 4 pieces of freshly cut wood burning inside. It hurts to breathe. The cold air doesn't quite warm up enough before it gets to your lungs. I move towards the checkers as the second dog team comes in, careful to stay out of anyone's way, but happy to be there, to experience it, to capture it all. Eventually, I'll fall asleep inside the building and stop coming outside for every team that passes through. The next morning, it's warmer. It's only 10 degrees below zero. which feels balmy, especially in the sun. Much later, I will discover that I didn't get everything I wanted, but I got everything I need. There, in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, hundreds of miles from the closest city, on the banks of a frozen river, as more than 500 dogs passed through overnight. The cold got into my lungs, lodged in place, pulling me into that world. And I might never really get out. Thank you. Oops.
Hello.
Amy Engelhardt. Hello.
Goodbye.
Oh, all right. Bye.
No, actually, I'm going to do this a completely new tune.
Yay!
Yeah, because there's always a first time. And,
because
it's my birthday, so...
portion of this show, apparently.
There you go.
Right. Hey, look what's right under there. Oops, where? There.
Oh, my website?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my website. And if you go to my website...
Which you should.
And you sign up for my mailing list, which you can do from the first page you see, which you should. I will send you a free MP3. And you can find out about future events that may not even be birthday events.
What?
There are days when, well, actually, all days, I guess, are a birthday for someone. I wonder if there's a day that is the least birthday day.
There is.
What is it?
February 29th.
Well, that's because it only exists, All right, Frederick from Pirates of Penzance.
Right. My work is done.
Let's get rid of Alex. All right. Hi again. It's me again. Lovely to see you all here to celebrate my birthday. I'm going to do a completely new tune that I haven't done pretty much yet. This was developed in a class. And again, part of me wants to say that this is about an ideal world, but it kind of isn't, because that would be like so mean. And by the way, also, you've been warned. All right. All right. I'll see you on the other side, and good luck. For any of you watching who don't know me, pretty much everything I do is original. Everything I play is original. I do have a couple of covers. I might do one tonight. Usually they're things from the 80s that are either obscure or completely reharmonized or rethought out, performed in a different way. So this is neither of those things. This is an original. And tell me what you think of it. Hot hand Jeremy was hot for Janine, so he took her out to dinner twice. And after they got naked, he got nasty and mean. When she called him, she got ice. 'Cause that's his MO, man, he worships his dick. But I heard he was fired and replaced by a chick. Oh well. Schadenfreude. 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 Hold my beer. Schadenfreude. Unemployed. To giggle is crass, but hey, the dude is an ass. I'm sorry, not sorry, and my conscience is clear. Main brain Susan led the trivia team, but was upstaged by Kim Bates. Kimmy got a party for her sweet 16 and knew Latin in atomic weights. But Susan Dose can be caked to sideline the bitch. But Sam saw her do it and he pulled a big switch right before a match. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude struck a nerve. Schadenfreude. Plans destroyed her. I shouldn't laugh, but that's a hoot and a half. I'm sorry, not sorry, you got what you deserve. It doesn't bother me when you get hurt. It's a cartoon injury. Sometimes it's funny cause it's just desserts. Until shit happens to me. Until shit happens to me. Shit happens to me. Shit happens to me. Shit happens to me. Judge Roy Thomas was a racist coot with an I like 20 stench. Jewish, black, or female, then the point was moot, but he was welded to the bench. The naked pictures of him wound up online. They were quite unattractive, but the other dude was fine. Oh well. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude, one more time. Schadenfreude, you can't avoid it. You hate that it's true, but baby, you know it too. You're sorry, not sorry that you turn on a dime, and if they never catch you, it's a victimless crime. Sha 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 sha. Sha 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 sha. Sha 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 sha. Because we all know we feel it, right? I'm going to rehearse that one. But there's always a first time, you guys. And that was it. And thank you. This next tune is going to be on my upcoming album, which is called Finish What You. Because I would like to. And actually, these circumstances, oddly enough, represent the second time that I have had to put this album on hold, finishing this album. I mean, you couldn't write a better script for it, and please don't. The first time there was it got put on hold because I needed the money that I was going to take to produce it for a house event. And this time, of course, I was ready to launch my crowdfunder when, the shit show happened. So I think it's ironic that it's called Finish What You. Because it's at least 2 years in the making, and I have a bunch of tracks done, and I need to mix them, and I have to do record some other new tracks. And it's me and a full band and a string section. So if you want to hear about it, go to amyengelhardt.com and sign up for my mailing list, and you will get updates. I promise you. So this will be on that album. I'm not even sure how to introduce this song, so you can decide what it means to you. It's also in the key of C, though, so that'll be like a palette cleanser. Oh, I have no idea where I am sonically, because they say you're not supposed to do like 2 songs in a row that are in the same key, but that's how this worked. Knew that I should visit, knew I should go, but what would I say to you? I didn't know. Sat with all the questions, wishing it weren't so. There's nothing useful I could bring. Then I thought of one thing. I can't bear the weight for you. Pain can't be transferred, but I can hold you in silence, give you my word, taking all you are today. You will be seen and heard. You are more than just the fear. You are now, you are here. Witness is all I can do. All I can do is be here for you. Witness is all I can do. All I can do is be here for you. And when I'm called to testify, when I'm called to testify, when I am called to testify, I will say, witness is all I can do. I was a witness to the wonder of you. Witness is all I can do. All I could do is be here for you. You are. You were. You are. You were. Thank you. And now, Alex Stein with Hekla P. Husavik, actually.
Actually, it's Bettles P. Kotzebue,
Oh, it's Bettles.
our tuxedo cat, who is none too happy about being used as a little prop.
Oh,
For the-
sweet face. Oh, you're being tortured.
Her life is so awful. All right, good now.
Truly is.
Is this the self-promotional part of the
I
evening?
think it is, because then we're going to be at the last round.
All right. Well, I do want to mention that although we're happy to be doing this and we're thrilled to be sharing these songs and stories, and there is absolutely no cost for any of this, and you are not expected to have to pay anything. But if you are wanting to pay something, if you are still working, if you have a little bit of cash that you would like to kick our way, that's the Venmo and PayPal address. And
Thus ends the promotional floggage.
does it?
And if you contribute more than $10, you get a free download of my album, which is called Not Gonna Be Pretty. That's the first album. This is Alex's book, Tales from the Trail, recently released and now available at Amazon.com.
It is available on Amazon. It is available as a paperback, as an ebook, and it's now available as an audiobook. And I've got a bunch of free copies of the audiobooks. If you want an audiobook and you kick in, what did we say?
Well, it was $10. It's $10 for my CD, so maybe we'll throw in your audiobook as well.
Okay. Yeah. So if you do that, we will give you an audiobook. Look at that picture. It's beautiful. It's Yetna Station. I actually took that picture in 2019. So in the before times. This is a story from that book, which is short fiction about dogs, mushing, and sled dog races. And it's a bunch of pieces told from a variety of different points of view, including dogs, including mushers, including fans, including inanimate objects and frozen bodies of water. And this is a piece from the point of view of a dog, and it's called Last. I remember my first run. I'd been watching the others get into harness, wondering what it felt like to pull like that. How strange to think of you behind me driving instead of in front, playing with me or feeding me. My life before then was happy. In the dog yard, running around, frolicking. But the others would go out, and when they'd come back, they had this look about them, like they knew the big secret. And I wanted to know it too. And then one day, it was my turn. From the start, I loved pulling the sled, even if it was just around the lake. After a few months, whenever I came back to the dog yard and the puppies would look at me like I knew the big secret, because I did. I liked the feel of the snow. I loved the way my shoulders pull on the harness and the line pulls taut and the sled moves forward. I loved the sound of all of the dogs panting and pulling and moving together. I liked the camping trips, being out at night, eating on the trail, sleeping on straw under the stars. I remember that one time when all the other dogs were asleep and it was just you and me awake in the middle of the night, looking up, watching the northern lights dance for what seemed like hours. I loved feeling you riding the brake, trying to slow us down, hearing you call out commands, feeling the whole team move like a single 70-foot long organism. I didn't like the races at first. So many dogs, so many people, so much noise, and too much to smell. But you took me aside my first race, told me it would be okay, told me there were a lot of dogs at the beginning and at the end, but most of the time it would be just us, me with my pack and my human. There were some great races when we did more than anyone thought we could, when everything fell into place and nothing could go wrong. And there were some bad races. You got discouraged a few times. We got sick a few times. The sled broke a lot. But you always made it good for us. You moved me around over the years, put me in team, in wheel, in swing. I was never the main leader, but I could lead. I knew the commands. I knew how to keep the team going. I knew the secret language of every dog who came before me and every dog who will follow after I'm gone. I loved every run and nearly every race. I think you know already. I've lost a few steps. I get tired more quickly. You joke with me, tell me you're a few steps slower yourself. I felt my paws more this year, and they're good paws, but they're not puppy paws. Not anymore. The yearlings smell it on me too, like I smelled it on the older dogs when I was young. It's not the end yet, but it's coming. They know. We all know. This will be my last race. I'll still run with you. I'll still help corral the puppies and teach them what I know, but my 1,000-miler days are over after this. My 300-miler days too. The mind still wants to go. The mind thinks I'm still a puppy. But the body knows better. Legs cramp more. Nose can't pick up the scent of the trail as quickly. And honestly, the idea of being a couch dog suddenly appeals to me, and it never did before. You seem sad as you walk the line giving us snacks. So I nuzzle you to cheer you up. And you grin at me, and I know what you're thinking. I've cheered you up too much. You think I have another year of racing in me. I catch your eye. I want to make sure you know, and I want you to be okay with it. You look at me for a long time, and then you nod and look away. You don't want to admit it, but yeah, you know. You humans get so mushy about these things. You let sadness wash all over the joy. We can read you. We get sad when you are sad. So we try to help you, to remind you of how happy this all makes us. Still, we dogs know when it's time. I hope you get it, but I'm never really sure. The older dogs used to say that when they taught me to be part of this team. I didn't understand then. I was too busy letting the joy of the trail wash over every fiber of my being. I understand it now, and it's okay. All of it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have a job to do. You rub the area by my nose where my fur has gone gray, right where I like it. This will be my last time here with you on this trail. I strain forward. Come on, pull the hook already. Let's do this. One long run to the finish. You, me, and this amazing team. One last time. My last great race.
I love that.
That is my favorite piece in the book, I think.
I just love that story. And I'm not saying that in the I love that story like way that there you go, Tales from the Trail, Amazon.com. And Alex's birthday is September 5th. So that's why this is
There you have it. It's the special birthday edition.
we're gonna have to do another birthday edition for your
In German, that is all one word.
Yeah.
Spezial
Right.
birthday edition. I guess.
Alrighty. Nice. You didn't plan on Scranton, coming from Columbus to New York, but you broke down at a diner at the turnpike, a road with a fork. You were 3 credits short of the program, 3 credits from a degree. Nothing was standing in your way, no distractions, no emergencies. 8 projects on your desktop, no schedule, no goal. You left 2 peanuts in the kitchen, unshelled in a bowl. No adult wants just 2 peanuts. Did you think you were being nice? Eat all the goddamn peanuts. Jesus Christ. You never finish. You never finish what you never finish. You never finish what nobody gives a rat's ass if you do or you don't. And I'd like to give a rat's ass, 'cause you probably won't. Can you do all the things you talk up? Are you a fraud or just afraid? It's time to climb out of the bed you never made. You never finish. You never finish what you never finish. You never finish what you never played the big cards. You never what you gonna do? And that is, of course, the title track to Finish What You. Well, it's 6:57, so this is the last song of the evening of He Said, She Sang. And I'm going to do the closer that I always do, which I was privileged to do a couple of nights ago. Well, it was a clip of me doing it for Cooper Union, the amazing institution for the advancement of science, art, and engineering in New York. And the tuition used to be free to New York residents, and they're working to do that again. It's an amazing institution, and they use this in their Cooper Union Presents concert, their fundraising concert. And I was thrilled. And Ben Folds actually opened the show. So as far as I'm concerned, Ben Folds opened for me. And we're big BFFs now. So this is the message I would like to leave you with. As it turns out, I didn't do any cover tunes tonight. I covered my own stuff, damn it! This is also going to be in the album. I've already tracked it, the cello, everything. It's gorgeous. And I like to close with it because it's about connection and how we're all connected. And we need to take care of each other. So I wish you well. Be smart. Be safe. And until we meet again in cyberspace, I'm going to leave you with this. It's based on a story that I heard on NPR. And I'll send you the link if you want. Hundreds of miles from landfall, in the cold, wet, infinite blue, my job is to photograph wildlife, and I am here studying you. You are a large wild predator, I'm your small possible meal. Though I have watched you for hours upon hours, I can assume that I know what you feel. Because you're you, I'm me. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful, sure. But you need dinner and I need a photograph. You're you, I'm a me. Here on the deep blue sea. Here on the deep, dangerous sea. Yesterday you caught a penguin with your giant, incredible teeth. You gave it to me, but it got away, 'cause I'm slow, and it's not what I eat. You did this 4 times with a live one. Then you offered me one that was dead. I suddenly knew you thought I couldn't feed myself, so you provided me my daily bread. Because you're you, I'm me. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful, sure. But you need dinner and I need a photograph. You're you, I'm me. Here took care of me. I live in a box in Manhattan. I'm forced to connect every day, interact with the rush and the madness in a very unmeaningful way. And your picture hangs in my kitchen to remind me life is real, and it fills me with infinite gratitude for the faraway, wild, indescribable blue, for the gesture of kindness, simple and true, for the gift of a meal, for the heart inside you. Oh, you're beautiful. I'm beautiful, sure. We both got dinner and I got my photograph. You're you, I'm me, here on the deep blue sea, here on the deep blue, dangerous sea. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you so much. Here's Alex.
Oh, camera switched. It's not over there anymore.
No, remember it switched because I realized that there was a way. Come in. I realized that there was a way that I could
Hi.
actually do this and look at the camera. Because I had it set up over there because that's how I do it for classes and stuff. And then I'm going, this is really silly. Of course, I was completely screwed up by it, but that's life.
Oh well.
You live.
I was going to bring Hecla down to say hi to all of you fine people and the few of you who are not so fine.
Oh, there's definitely people who are not fine who are here.
But
Pablo, yay!
thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for commenting. This will stay up on YouTube, and we are so very happy to be able to be here and to be safe and relatively sane with us.
That's
relative,
always a
relative thing.
Oh my God. And also hello to my new friends in Provincetown who I believe are watching or may watch later. That's a new friend.
And we hope you were hooting. I know some of you are very good hooters. That sounds odd.
It totally sounds wrong.
Oh well.
But I hope you also like the MacGyvered backdrop here. I kind of think it's cool. Although I also think it's cool for you to see my studio because I actually like showing people my studio.
And if we had planned better ahead, there would be like something in the background. There would be like palm trees or a beach or snow or something.
Oh, I should totally try that now that I have a completely solid background.
Indeed.
There should be giant cake. Speaking of giant cake.
Oh, do we have to get the delivery guy from before?
No, I don't think so, but I think we might go have some. Thank you all. Lovely to see you. Be well. Alex's book, Amazon.com.
And AmyEngelhardt.com. Sign up for her mailing list. And next time we do this, I'm going to have my stupid website up and running so I can say, sign up for my mailing list too.
Don't have your stupid website on. Have your smart website on.
What a cut, what a burn.
Phenomena, people.
Bye.